Hello. So why don't you introduce yourself?
Hi, hello, Sarah. I'm Mike. I live in Porto, in Portugal. I've been all my life connected to technologies and software development, and then my life took me to the Agile world. And currently, I'm the director of Agile Ways of Working.
Nice. And what inspired you to join the Leadership Lending program?
Fun story. I did previously with you the liberating structures thing, and I really enjoyed it. And then suddenly there was an email in my mailbox talking about dragons, which is one animal that I love. And one thing led to the other, and I end up enrolling in your program.
Yeah, you were in my Liberating Structures program, right? It wasn't that you went to a Liberating Structures program with me.
Yeah, it's the one that you normally do. It is, I think, 12 days, if I'm
Yeah,
not
yeah,
mistaken.
exactly. Yeah,
I
the
enrolled in
one
that
that's
one.
in using Trello and all of that.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah,
And it
yeah,
was it
exactly.
was super interesting. So one thing led to the other. It was talking about leadership, which is something that I'm going through for a long time now, and I want to evolve further. So it came in the right moment.
Yeah, I remember somehow those topics coming up then.
Yeah.
So, and where were you in your personal or professional growth journey before starting the program?
So it is interesting because in the current company I end up joining as head of. And in my previous company, I was already leading a team of agile coaches. But with being an head of, uh, other things are needed. And going towards becoming a director, it was during that moment, and I needed to let go the mindset of being so operational
Hmm.
and be more strategic and be more of a leader to my team and to my peers. And that part, I was not there yet. So it came in that moment. It came in the right moment.
Nice, nice. And I'm curious, what did leadership or impact the words mean to you then, and what do they mean to you now?
Yeah, I always went with those buzzwords of lead by example, lead from the back of the room, those kind of things, be a servant leader. So this was what I was trying to be. When I went through your program, and interesting enough, it's also really relevant for my personal life, not only for my professional life. I saw different parts of me that they were invisible to me. And if I don't see certain things, I can't help my team because for me those things don't exist. And during the program, I was able to start spotting other areas and even learning from some of the examples you gave. And I was like, why didn't I thought about this? So it broadened the way I see my team. And especially one thing you said once to me is, hey, your team is your peers, not the people that report to you. I was like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Still focusing on the agile coaches. I need to focus also on the other directors. So these are some examples of things that now I see and they were invisible to me before.
Wow, nice, nice to hear. And was there a specific moment that shifted how you see yourself or your ability to influence others?
Um, there were multiple moments during the program.
Boom,
Each
boom, boom,
session,
boom.
each session was kind of uh, I don't know. It's like you're learning how to box. You go to the ring, and each time you learn something different. You get new skills. There's probably one or two moments I remember the most. One of them was when you mentioned you can't ignore your dragons. So initially I start or I talk to my dragons. At the time I didn't saw them as dragons, but now I do. But I was talking to my dragons in the sense of calming them down or giving them information about justifications. So I was
Mhm.
actually just deny them the right to feel whatever they feel. And when I understood this, it made a huge difference because now I try to listen to them and especially try to understand them. Because whatever is worrying them, whatever is in my mind that is blocking me, there's a reason for it. If I understand it, I will be able to deal with it. Deny it, it's just me ignoring it. I will never solve. If I don't understand the problem, I can't solve it. So that was one of the moments that really triggered in my mind is I'm doing it wrong, and I need to be more vulnerable to myself because then it's also, oh, I'm vulnerable with my team, but I forgot to be vulnerable to myself, and that's kind of the main thing that came for me as an insight.
Yeah, in just one of our coaching sessions, I think in the last week, we even mentioned having empathy for your dragons.
Yes, yes, yes. Being in their shoes. I don't know
Yes.
if dragons use shoes, but they might.
Now I'm picturing it. I'm a very creative person in big shoes.
Yeah, maybe.
But in fact, the dragons are you. So as you said,
Mhm.
it's having empathy for your deeper self.
Yes, yes, absolutely.
Yes. And by the way, you may want to inform the audience when you took this program, because I just mentioned that I saw you last week.
Mhm.
However, that was not in the program. That's in our coaching sessions.
Yes, yes, exactly. I mean, after we went through the program, it was really cool. I mean, I still remember many of the stories that the other participants shared, so that was super cool. But I felt I needed a deeper dive into certain topics. And I remember when I was doing the program, one day we were in awe, and I stayed with you to partner with someone, and in 5 minutes, I don't know, you I understood so many things. I was like, okay, if this is 5 minutes, I want to do the full program just on 101 because it's really different and it's real. What we've been doing, I've seen, I feel I grow from the inside, and some things I still don't grasp all of it because after the sessions I have with you, I still need that sometimes 3, 4 days, and after sometimes a week, my brain goes like, oh yeah, okay, now this is making sense. So it's so much stuff to learn. So this session and our session last session was last week too. Those sessions are super relevant for me because it's really helping me grow. So,
Yeah. And back to the program, how did the program challenge or stretch you emotionally, mentally, or practically?
cool. So as I mentioned, now I hear myself more and I try to understand why I feel certain things, and I will allow myself also to feel things. It's okay if I'm mad with my CTPO or with my other director of engineering or with somebody else in my team. Being mad doesn't mean I don't like them or they don't like me. It just means that there's a reason for that to happen. And allow to have those feelings allows me to grow. I don't know. I don't think it's mentally. It grows from the inside. I mean, then on the perspective of the job, I lost fear to do certain things that now I know I can do, but I doubt myself 1 year ago or two that, yeah, what will they think about this? Doesn't make sense. I'm just gonna be making a fool out of myself. So I lost that fear. That doesn't mean that I just go crazy into things. I plan for it. I think I talk with my dragons about the things I'm doing and say, hey, what do you guys think? Is this anything for us to be concerned? So I go with confidence on things. And just like we said yesterday, what's the worst thing that can happen? I actually make a fool of myself and then I'll learn from there and I'll do better next time. So, but I have
That's
the courage to face those things. So that is something that in the past I would have to be 1 week preparing myself to be courageous enough. And now if something happens in a meeting, sometimes I need 1 minute or two just to gather my thoughts and unmute myself and say whatever I need to do to say and to do without worrying and overthinking for everything. So that's a huge difference I see myself.
amazing. And I'm curious if there was a particular framework or exercise that you still use today. For example, we had the values map, the dragon metaphor, enneagram, worthy goals, the eco cycle. Is there something that still you use in your everyday work?
Mhm. Yeah. I mean, the eco cycle was the one that took me more time to understand.
Hmm.
Certain things felt quite easy, but then in the 8 stages, some of them were so confusing to me.